says to the guy, "That's not my monkey."
Whose monkey is it?
Ross Geller's fucking monkey.
Holy
Not even kidding.
shit.
It's the same monkey that they used in Friends. And he
What?
was playing the song from The Lion King on a jukebox.
What's his actual name, though?
Marcel.
No. I thought that's the stage name. What's his actual name?
Oh, this is a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, like, come on, every
He didn't introduce himself.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, he probably has a big shot. I bet you he had, like, his own wardrobe and entourage and all that working up for him.
I can't remember, to be honest. I was a little drunk.
It's okay. That happens. He definitely has a stage name, though. Like, if
I think you're absolutely correct.
if all actors have a stage name, Marcel would have a stage name.
I'm pretty sure that was just the character's name, Marcel. Yeah.
I bet you that would also be a fun stage name, Marcel.
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 Okay.
All right.
Hey.
Guys, welcome to Two Beers Deep today, brought to you by Thoughts from the Bench. I am co-host / sidekick / I guess,
Dick Tickler.
yeah, whatever, extraordinaire Greg. That right there is the man who is chained to his desk and not allowed to leave the computer.
I can't get outside these four walls.
No, they're very much invisible
Yes.
and they're very much impenetrable. That's Josh right
Hi,
there.
everybody.
Hi, everyone. And in case you couldn't tell, we are one person short today. Deke had an unfortunate travel situation. He kind of had to spring up on us.
Not unfortunate. He's going to a wedding.
That's true. Weddings are fun. He gets to get drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
Gets to spend time with his family.
Twitter says he's currently deleting beers.
That's a lot.
I don't know how you delete a beer.
Oh, it's very easy to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll demonstrate later in
Okay,
case anyone's
great,
curious about that.
perfect.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Thank you.
But in case anyone's curious or not, as we've brought up before previously, two people on Two Beers Deep is a whole lot of fun, I would say. We started off the show originally with two. It was very entertaining at first. And then we added a third, and we were like, okay, let's turn this shit up a notch. And that's how we got there at this point.
Okay.
But obviously we've not gotten to a point where adding a third person to Two Beers Deep makes it a whole lot more fun. So we're about to add our third person, if you will, good sir. Hey, it is TFTB Smalls joining us this week on Two Beers Deep. Smalls.
Why do you look like a douchebag?
Because I am a douchebag.
All right.
Ready to control out. I really
What
just
is
want to
that?
control. I want to control alt delete some beers tonight, boys.
Oh,
I love
okay.
it. I
okay.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been funny if you got it out right the first time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know.
So a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, we had your partner in crime, Benny Buckets, on as a co-host, and we thought
Former
you.
partner in crime.
Yeah, well.
Let's just
bring
put
that
it on
up.
hold.
We'll bring that
Put
up.
it on hold.
Put it on hold.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Calm
Thoughts
down.
from the Movies is still on hold.
Yeah, that's
too.
true. That's true.
So is the two-man version of A Great Depression is also on hold.
Yeah, that's true. But we decided, you know what? Let's bring his co-host on to be our co-host for this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us is co-host of The Vault and co-host of a brand new show that we're going to be discussing in a bit, TFTB Smalls. What is up, kind sir? Thank you for joining us, man.
Dude, I'm good, man. You know, the best ability is availability, and right now I'm here. I'm ready to take over for Deke. I'm
That's
taking it
gimmick
by
infringement,
storm.
brother. You can't do that to Greg.
Yeah, that is my gimmick, actually. I completely
Oh
forgot
my God,
about
that's awesome.
that.
Well, you know, that's what happens when you have to get, you know, I got caught up to the plate because
Right.
Deke was too much, you know, he's a fraud. Yeah, he's not
A
really
fraud?
a
Wow.
But no, he's my new co-host, so I can't really talk shit on him.
That's very true. We're going to get into the new co-host thing.
Why
Also,
would you just do it now?
okay. I mean, also, you're a regular on draft day every Monday on Twitch,
Yep.
if you want to get into that. Real quick, also, this Friday, this is your season finale with Benny Buckets on the Vault.
Mhm.
How you feeling about this, man? Is it bittersweet? Is it like, you know what? We've hit our litmus right now. We need some time to recollect ourselves, get our train of thought back, and then we're just going to come back stronger than ever. Is that how it's
Yeah.
going right now?
Yeah, pretty much. So, I guess a little bit behind the scenes. Ben, as of right now, is he's actually starting his first season as a head soccer coach for a local high school team. So
Ambridge
between him,
Bridgers.
yep, exactly. So between that, like, I wanted him to be able to like focus on that, and not that the vault takes that much time out of our week, but I didn't want him to have to stress about that. I'm also going to be traveling a bunch this fall between just visiting friends, going to college football games, ton of stuff on the weekends, and that's when he would kind of have to record. So we honestly just thought it would be a good opportunity to just kind of step back a little bit, get that hunger back that we had, whenever we started the show, if that makes sense. Not that was ever gone, but like you said, man, it is bittersweet because, I mean, we said every week, like, it is the best part of our week, hands down. Like, we have so much fun doing it, and I feel like we've gotten better for sure. And I think it's only going to go up from here. But yeah, the vault just put on hold for now. We just wrapped it up, called it season 1. Season 2 is going to be starting up probably sometime this winter. So
I like it. And in the meantime, while we will be anxiously waiting for season 2 to come out, you decided to continue on doing some shows right now. You're going to be joining our usual co-host, Deke. You'd started a new college football show that actually dropped today on YouTube, by the way. You can check it out if you want on the Thoughts from the Bench page. Give us the name of this great idea and also the tagline that goes with it, because I thought it's hilarious.
Yep. So the show is All-Purpose Garbage, a college football show for idiots. So basically all it is like, if you go on YouTube and you just look up college football, you're going to see ESPN. You're going to see,
Right.
I really like College Football Nerds, but they get super like analytical with it.
Right.
I haven't seen a ton out there of just people shooting the shit talking about college football. And I mean, a lot of football fans are idiots. So like, we're just appealing to the fan side and just kind of stepping away from just stats. Oh, we got to hydrate.
We haven't opened beers yet.
Yeah, we're yeah.
We owe one. We owe one.
We'll
get there. We'll
get there. We got some plug keys to get through. But Smalls, please continue, because I do want to hear more about this. I think this is a really cool idea that you guys came up with for a college football show.
Yeah, so I think the idea really is, so obviously I'm a diehard college football fan, Penn State fan. Deke knows football, knows draft prospects, so he's coming into it with a different perspective than me, because I'm all about like just the storylines and all that stuff. He's looking more at the actual individual players. So I think it kind of combines two unique perspectives, and me and Deke have known each other for probably 10 plus years now, so we know how to bounce off each other pretty well. So yeah, I mean, it's literally just us shooting the shit, trying to have fun during what is, in my opinion, the best part of the year.
Yeah.
So.
And again, for anyone who is curious, we did drop that. I should say you dropped that brand new episode on YouTube. It's available for anyone to view now. It's an hour plus. It's an easy go through. I haven't gone through it entirely yet, just because I had kind of a busy day today. But I am definitely excited to see it. I saw that you talked about the top 25. You talked about matchups upcoming and all that. So it's going to be interesting because, yes, as we all know, clearly Deke does not necessarily know everything, like he says. I'm just going to point that out.
Yeah.
I think you should really watch your tongue. We have a entire clothing brand line named after an argument over college football between the two of you.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So I would just slowly roll over there.
That's
big
fair.
shoots.
That's fair. I was also very plastered. Actually, funny enough, I was hammered off of whiskey when that happened, so might be a spoiler for later in the show.
Interesting. Yeah.
For all we know. But I'm very thirsty. Josh, are you parched right now?
I'd have a beer.
You'd have a beer?
I'd have a beer.
All right, let's have a beer real quick. All right, 3, 2, 1. Action. Smalls, what'd you bring to the table for
Don't make him do
your
that.
Guest appearance?
We can all see the can. Don't make him do that.
I was just a question.
I heard a screech of an eagle, and I saw stars for a minute. That goes really well with the Pit Vipers.
I was going to say, are you talking about the beer or my glasses? I
well,
can't
both.
tell.
Both, if you wanted to get into that round.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it back. It's college football season, so I had to throw it back to my roots, drinking natties at the tailgate. So.
I love it. So real quick, last week on the show, we brought up a good friend of the show, Mike Dawson, who appeared on this past week's episode of A Great Depression.
Set the record for most listens in a week.
It was a great episode, man.
Yeah.
It really was. And a friend of the show who decided to bring us beer, well, frankly, me beer. Let's be honest about that.
It's true.
Me beer. Last week, Josh and I drank from this giant-ass crowler that we're going from. We had a brown ale from them, from Lost in the Wilds Brewing out in Shippensville, Pennsylvania, which is in Clarion County.
Yep.
This, we are drinking a blackberry sour, which when we had the discussion about what we wanted to drink, I immediately said sour, and Josh, I'm pretty sure, got very hot and bothered and excited when I brought this up. So
Hot, bothered, nervous for my kidney.
nervous for your kidney. Well, I think your kidney will be fine. It's made it this long.
Moderation, right?
Moderation. Yeah, exactly. It's whatever the Crown Royal commercials are. It's like moderation plus hydration equals fun, I think.
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Thank you.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know. It sounds
Works
like it
for
though.
me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. They all talk about hydration and shit on that show, on those commercials and stuff. So that's all
That
I know
show,
about that.
which we do, by the way, owe a hydrate.
Oh, that's got bite to it.
That's different.
It is.
It's not like a normal sour. It's not fruity at all.
No, it's very smooth on the back, which is weird for a
It
sour.
almost tastes like a milkshake IPA.
It does, but it's not, which is kind of surprising. And you are not the biggest fan of milkshake
No.
IPAs, yeah.
Yeah,
So
maybe
alright.
that gives you an indication on the beer.
I got
Well,
you. Well, you can blame Mike Dawson on that one then. Direct all
Fuck you, Crinkle Binkley.
your things to @Mike Dawson because he recently just followed me. I'm pretty sure. So.
Probably.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
so.
there you go.
Mike
All right.
Dawson, thank you for the beer, bud. I appreciate it, unlike your friend Josh. So just throwing that out there.
That's correct.
And blackberries are delicious. Just saying.
All right. Do we do all the plug skis?
I think we did a lot of plug skis. Smalls, while we have you on the show today, do you have any plug skis you want to give out yourself, just out of curiosity?
I think you did.
I think I did, yeah.
Well, unless you had anything else, I'm just
Oh.
I'm just curious about. Yeah.
I didn't do draft day, which I'm also on.
Yeah,
So-
Monday's draft day. It is you, it is our fearless leader. It is Denny in the chat, and it is Alex from the laboratory. It is a fun time of just any and every random topic that you could think of that they just sit down and they decide to draft their ultimate picks for it.
Yep, it's a good time. Alex really makes the show. I can't. Well,
I
actually,
believe it. We believe it. Yeah.
I can't tell if he makes the show or he's gonna be the reason that our show gets canceled. I'm not sure yet.
Both, honestly.
Well,
Yeah.
we've made it down this path before, so yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
He's Boyd Light, you know.
Boyd Light.
Boyd Light.
Wow.
Can't forget about draft day. No. that's
Cannot
for
forget
sure.
about draft day.
Okay. You ready to talk some sports?
Let's do it. Speaking of drafting, we also bring up the fact, too, that the Denver Broncos have had a really hard time drafting
What a
quarterbacks for a while.
segue from you.
I've learned from
10
Moorhead.
out of fucking 10 segue there.
Moorhead-
I'm loving it.
Moorhead has kind of forced me to push my limit when it comes to getting segues on this. But let's bring this up real quick. So the Denver Broncos this week, they had a quarterback competition. And you know, Smalls, when you have two quarterbacks, you don't have any quarterbacks. Let's be real about that. But the starter for the Denver Broncos was announced this week is going to be Teddy Bridgewater.
Hooray!
We're big Teddy Bridgewater guys, in case you can't tell. Supplanting Drew Lock, the Mizzou quarterback that everyone thought was John Elway's dream idea for this, and he got supplanted by Teddy Touchdown. I like Teddy Touchdown as a nickname for the record, but that's just my opinion.
Would you guys like some stats about my beloved Teddy Two Gloves?
Do it.
I would love some stats, bud.
Okay.
And he has paper, by the way.
I since we started the other goofy segments, I really have to have it in front of me.
Yes.
Otherwise, it gets off the rails.
By the way,
really
before you
quickly.
get into
What?
your paper,
What?
I have to get into my paper real
Ah,
quick
fuck!
because Two Beers Deep is
Where
live
are
today
we?
from the Union Fitness Studios, located
are.
on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It's a place where you can transform yourself inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
With a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe that it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation. Through Union, there is strength.
I benched yesterday too.
Oh,
Did you catch that?
you're very...
Fucking huge,
Yeah.
dude.
I am getting big. Thank you, Curtis.
You're getting swole.
You can follow along my fitness journey on the Union Fitness podcast.
Nice. Now that I read my paper, please read your paper
All
as well.
right, so last year there were two teams that I became obsessed with betting around. One of
Great
them,
opening already.
right? One of them was the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Teddy Two Gloves. Okay. Here was his stat line on the season. He played 15 games.
Okay.
Okay. 15 TDs.
Mhm.
11 interceptions.
Okay.
3,733 yards passing. A QB percentage, QB rating of 92% and a 69% completion rate. Nice. His top target was DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very famously, his what should have been number one target, Christian McCaffrey, got hurt and only had played in 3 games in the regular season.
That is accurate.
Do you want to take a wild guess where Christian McCaffrey finished on the team in passing yards or receiving yards?
He only played in 3 games.
3 games. Out of all the receivers, all the running backs that played for Carolina, where do you think he finished?
Smalls, it's got to be like, what, 7th, 8th? I'm
Well,
guessing.
I don't know. The way that he's talking, I'm thinking 2 or 3 or something crazy like that.
5th.
Really?
My God.
That's crazy, man.
He played 3 games. Okay? How about rushing?
Oh, God. Well, wait. Mike Davis was there, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he got the majority of the
Yeah.
touches. So,
So?
I would say McCaffrey finished 2nd.
3rd.
Okay, I was
Okay,
close. How
so
close?
that's I need to give you these parameters to point out how bad offensively that team was.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now allow me to read this very impressive stat to you and what essentially sucked me into the hole of betting on Carolina, but also won some money off of them.
I like how you're like,
I'm turning away from
you're
you.
turning it away from me so I don't
Don't
see
look
it.
at my paper.
Yes.
The Panthers went 4-11 last season.
Right.
8 of their 11 losses were by a touchdown or less. 90% of those, Teddy Two Gloves came out at the half and lit the fucking world on fire.
Yeah.
This is huge for the Denver Broncos. They don't have 2 quarterbacks. They have one very fucking good quarterback that's going to save John Elway's job. And let's fucking not forget this is only 4th year in the league.
Yep.
And he was hurt for one of them.
Yeah.
He's still a
Yep.
fucking rookie quarterback. Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't play until he was this old.
That's a fair point, actually, when
Yeah.
you bring that up.
And Teddy Two Gloves is walking into an offense that all of us agree just needs somebody to fucking
Just
manage
throw the
it.
ball.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're going to go boom.
That's very true.
I
as well.
agree with that. Yeah. Wholeheartedly, I agree with that.
Yeah, so and we talk on this too, and they're getting Cortland Sutton back, Dre's favorite receiver of all time, who will be playing again, so that can be a portion
Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant.
Mm-hmm.
They
KJ
have
Hamler, too.
KJ Hamler, Penn State guy too. Nice
Boom.
plug.
They have weapons. They have a decent offensive line. The defense is very fucking good. Did everybody forget about how the Steelers almost lost to a guy with the last name of Rapier because of the defense of the Denver fucking Broncos?
And that was without Von Miller too.
Who's back this year?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're a team that no one's talking about either.
No.
No one's talking about the Broncos.
Because we all thought they were going to start Drew Lock.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other reason that we're not talking about the Broncos too is that division you have Kansas City,
That's a good point.
Right.
Yep.
you have
Tough division.
the LA Chargers,
Yes.
and you have the Las Vegas Raiders, who at some point you think are going to have to do something. If John Gruden is going to save his job and Mike Mayock is going to keep his nice cushy job before he goes back to the NFL Network and replaces Neil Jeremiah, but that's just my opinion. I'm very excited for Teddy Bridgewater because Smalls, I remember him at Louisville. He was a stud. Him and Charlie Strong in that offense at Louisville were great. They upset Florida in the Sugar Bowl, I believe. It was a great, great game. And Teddy Bridgewater, frankly, deserved to be drafted higher than he was. He was the 32nd overall pick by the Vikings. He was obviously carted off in his second year with a torn ACL, and it was a bad one too. Like there was way more damage than we initially believed it was going to be.
Yeah, the players were like crying.
Yeah.
Like there were players like visibly upset when that happened.
Right. So that right there alone kind of speaks to the type of character that Teddy Bridgewater already has right there, and the fact that he kind of came back. He worked his way back too, like being the backup.
He had to fight his way.
Yeah, he did. He backed up in New Orleans with Drew Brees, got that starting gig in Carolina. Never really was appreciated for what he did there too, because
No,
Carolina
yeah.
was a rebuilding team from the
Right.
get-go.
Yep.
Like we all kind of agreed on that. God bless Sam Darnold if he gets there. He's still 23, so I mean he's got a lot of time left. But this is a
But
great
Teddy's
situation.
only 24.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is a great situation for Teddy Bridgewater to do what he potentially can, because there is a great offense that he's built around. I'm still suspect about the offensive line. I think Garrett Bowles is not as good as he
Okay.
is made out to be. But Bridgewater's at least mobile enough to be able to make it work.
Bridgewater could be a franchise quarterback. I will stand next to it. And I know, like, conventionally he doesn't look great. He runs around a lot. He wears 2 gloves, which freaks everybody out. Like, he's a black quarterback. Let's just put that on the fucking table, which doesn't matter as much in today's NFL, but it still matters. Right? And I swear to God, he's going to drag the Broncos into the fucking playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm. Smalls, what's your take on this?
I mean, I've always been a Teddy Two Gloves fan. Like, I feel like he doesn't get his due, and I don't know if it was because of the injury that everyone just kind of forgot about him, and after that, he's just kind of bouncing around. But I don't know, man. Like, has he been bad?
No, man. Let me pull up his Football Reference. Keep going.
Yeah, but like, there just hasn't been a situation for him to really flourish in, and I think they have the weapons in Denver for him to do something. And especially if you beat out the supposed franchise quarterback, like, obviously there's something there. Like, the Broncos are willing to give up on the Drew Lock experiment pretty early, I would say, because it's Teddy Two Gloves, man. Like,
I'm sorry, he's 28. I was wrong.
That's okay. I mean, he's in his prime right now, if you want to go that route, yeah.
But go ahead. Keep going, Smalls.
No, I mean, that's pretty much all I had. Like, they have the weapons, and he was good enough to make them give up on their first-round draft pick. I think that says a lot right there.
So his career year was his second year in Minnesota. He went 11-5. He started all 16 games. He threw 14 TDs and only 9 interceptions.
Which is efficiency, and and I believe he still had Adrian Peterson, like,
I believe that's
relatively in his prime.
2015.
So, yeah, so I think he was well set in there.
And then
2016 is when he tore his ACL, so he wasn't there.
Right, wasn't there. 2017, he's in Minnesota. The Kirk Cousins experiment starts there, or not yet?
Not yet. I believe Kirk Cousins came in 2018, if I remember correctly.
Who the quarterback was then?
What was the Case Keenum year?
That
might have been it.
Yep, they sure fucking it up.
Yep,
which was an electric year.
The Minnesota Miracle, not the Ducks, unfortunately. But yeah.
So Case Keenum, and then he goes to New Orleans, sits behind Drew for 2 years, and then starts in Carolina last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why people sleep on him. Maybe it's just because he hasn't established himself on one team. That has to be it.
It has to be. And we also forget about this, too. Like, Robbie Anderson got a 2-year, $29 million contract extension yesterday with $20 million guaranteed. He wouldn't have gotten that without Teddy Bridgewater, man.
Nope.
He would not have. So
100%.
We completely forget how good he is. But in actuality, like, this is a great, great sign for the Broncos. And realistically, I would say the wild card in the AFC is wide open. There's a very good chance they could sneak in as one of the 3 teams.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I think unless the Steelers are really fucking good. Or the Dolphins or Patriots wake up. It's pretty easy for them to strut into a wild card spot.
Okay, so here, that brings into this question then. And
real quick, his last year at Louisville, Smalls, he threw 31 tutties. Is that good?
And four picks. And 4 picks.
And only 4 picks. Oh my God.
Yep.
Anyway.
The 4 picks is incredible.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, he was playing in the American that year.
That was the first year of the American.
Yeah. But they also had Arkansas was in that division that year, wasn't it?
No,
they go right to the
always
SEC.
Been SEC.
Arkansas was always SEC, yeah.
Okay.
Were they in the American?
Yeah, because the first 2 years they were
weren't.
the Big East, and then the third year was the American.
Why was Rutgers playing Arkansas then? Must have been non-conference.
But it was non-conference,
okay,
yeah.
All
right. So I just keep thinking about this then. So with Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback, so with this current Denver Broncos team, Smalls, there's just this weird conglomerate of teams that are vying for that last spot or the last 2 spots even for the AFC. And in the top of my head, I'm looking at this. So Dolphins, Patriots, Broncos, Chargers.
Us.
I would throw us in there, yeah, with either Browns or Ravens. And then the South is like an absolute mess, so I'm not even going to like bother with that.
The South is
They have a shot.
The Titans. Well, I don't know because Titans and Colts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are you guys sleeping on the Colts? Like, I
I'm
don't know.
not.
I'm asking. Like,
Well, who's going to play quarterback for the Colts, though? And do they have a left tackle?
yeah, wasn't it gonna be Sam Ellinger for a hot sec?
It was. It was.
That would have been tough.
Now, I mean, we assume that Carson Wentz will come back at the beginning-ish of the season.
As far as
early
we
in
are
the
aware,
season.
yes. I would also argue their running game is stable enough to be able to manage without him for a bit. Titans, the issue is that Tannehill's on the COVID list. We don't know what the situation is going to be like with that. But I would argue, too, that the way they run their play-action offense and stuff, I think they're fine without Tannehill.
I don't fucking think it matters who the quarterback
No,
is.
I don't think it does
All
either.
that matters is the big old fucking 22 is healthy.
Well, I was going to say, they also got two big old fucking ones on the opposite end.
Yeah,
of
on
the
either
line.
end, too. Yeah, if the ball's in the air, somebody's catching it in Tennessee. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
So, Smalls, like, here's the question then.
Oh, shit.
Could we potentially see the Broncos as a playoff team this year?
I feel like there's always one team that is a surprise and kind of sneaks in.
I agree.
And I think this could be it. And yeah, no, I could definitely see it. I don't know if it's a lock. I wouldn't want to lock it in.
Especially without Drew Lock, obviously.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna make that dad joke, but
That's okay.
yeah, but no, I could see it. I don't think it's 100% guaranteed, but I could definitely see them sneaking in with that seventh spot for sure.
We're gonna do a whole NFL preseason and dramatic picks and shit next week when Derek comes back, and we're gonna drag the ranking.
Oh
on.
God, the season predictions and stuff. Those are gonna be fun.
Yes, but as you're looking at it right now, the only teams that are locks for the playoff: Bills, Chiefs. I would say the Ravens at this point.
Maybe.
Whether it's wild card or division, I would say that they're a lock.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, and then Titans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look
So,
at that division.
here's
Like,
the
they
thing.
get the Jaguars twice. They get the Texans twice.
The South and the North are the two divisions that are going to be toss-ups.
What?
The South is a toss-up between the Colts and the Titans.
Oh, okay.
The North is going to be a toss-up between Ravens, Browns, and Steelers. 'Cause I
Sure.
still think the Steelers can surprise people. That's just my opinion.
I
okay.
agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. So then you look. Dolphins and Pats are mystery because they could both be good. They could both suck. We don't know.
Right.
And then Chargers, we don't know. We assume Justin Herbert takes a step forward. He might regress. Sophomore slump type
Sophomore
stuff.
slump is a very real thing.
Very real thing. Browns, everybody's, got an opinion on them. Ravens, I think the Bengals are going to be better than everybody thinks they are. It's going to be interesting, but I think I wonder what the Broncos schedule looks like. Okay.
I'm gonna say a prayer for Joe Burrow when he has to play behind that behind that offensive line.
Hey, how about the start to this fucking season? Giants, Jags, and Jets. It's a good way to get some confidence.
I was going to say, yeah, the one team can't stop fighting each other. The other team looks atrocious.
Right.
And the Jets are the Jets. So
Right.
Yeah.
And then they've got, I'm looking for they've got the boys. Oh, they have to play the entire NFC Beast.
Yeah.
That could be tricky.
What do you mean that could be tricky? Like that?
It could be, depending on when you run it. Any one of those teams could break
Dude, the
off.
football team is good.
The football team is going to be good.
Yes.
The boys, assuming Dak Prescott is under center, are going to be really fucking good. The Eagles could get streaky at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then who else is the other?
Oh, the Giants, which they are.
Oh yeah, fuck the Giants.
All I know is when the Broncos and the boys play each other, bet the over.
Oh fuck yeah, there's no defense.
That's all I'm
just-
aware of.
Yep.
Bet the over.
Yeah, that's a bet the over for sure. But I don't know. It's an interesting. If you're 3-0 headed into a October 3rd game against the Ravens,
You got some confidence.
you've got some swag on you. You're at home. You might knock off the Ravens. You're 4-0 headed into Pittsburgh. Maybe Ben's hurt. You're 5-0. You know what I mean? Like, they could be on a roll. You get the Raiders. Now you're 6-0. Then you get the Browns. It's a toss-up. You have to go to Cleveland. But you never know at that point.
You can
If you're 5-0 or 6-0 walking in, hard to say.
We're big Teddy Two Gloves fans here
Right.
at Thoughts on the Bench, in case you couldn't
Yep.
tell. We really much are.
So, we talked about the fact that they will get to play the Jaguars at the beginning. of their season.
Oh, God.
And at this point, who wouldn't want to play the Jaguars? I heard that the Moon Tigers want to play the Jaguars. I heard that Pine Richland played the Jaguars in preseason and beat them. North Dakota State declined to play the Jaguars. They said they were beneath them.
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Smalls, as the college football guy for Thoughts from the Bench, what are the odds that this experiment goes well?
0.
Zero.
0.
Like, listen, I understand that everyone gets their start somehow. We have seen college coaches go to the NFL. There have been multiple examples of it. You know,
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban is one.
He's the one that I will always point to.
Yes, but there's also been some other examples. Steve Spurrier was in the NFL. Barry Switzer was in the NFL, even though he got Jimmy Johnson's players. Jimmy Johnson counts, though, technically, because he had the foresight to build a program around this.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Just the problem with college coaches moving to the NFL, and I will always say this, you don't get to do everything you want to do as the head coach. You do not have full control of everything, and that's what Urban Meyer has always had. It's what Nick Saban always had before he went to the NFL, and that's why it doesn't work. You can't recruit the players the same way. It doesn't work the same way. These players have contracts. They're playing for different reasons outside of just wanting to win a national championship. Like, there's a lot more at play, and you aren't the number one guy. You are not the number one guy making decisions here.
And you have a salary cap, which, they didn't have one of those at Ohio State.
No.
Yeah, exactly. No college football team has a salary cap, and,
it was
look at Bama.
It was a pay your players joke, Smalls.
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
All right.
We'll touch more.
I wasn't sure.
We'll touch more on that later.
Didn't seem like it.
No, Etienne getting hurt though, that's tough. That is
not
really
gonna help.
bad.
So, Smalls, I get it, but also though I feel like James Robinson showed what he was capable of last year, and I feel like with a better quarterback, yes, even though we all do love Gardner, we're going to enjoy seeing Trevor Lawrence a little bit more in this case. So having him back there, I think DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault take steps forward this year. But my God, that offensive line is horrible.
Yep.
Holy shit. That's horrible.
Yeah, and everyone just keeps saying, Peyton Manning had a horrible rookie year. I just don't think that this is the same. Like, if you don't have any offensive line, and I just don't – Peyton Manning, his mind was his strength. And I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence isn't football smart. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But that's what made Peyton Manning great, and he learned so much during that first year. I just think this is setting Lawrence up for failure for a long time because he will struggle. His confidence will get beat the fuck down. It's not a good situation overall.
You know what's scary to think about too? Peyton Manning, his mind was definitely is the reason that the Colts drafted him. I don't remember him getting sacked as much as he did, but his whole thing was he set the record for interceptions as a rookie. Mm-hmm. So he made a lot of mistakes.
He did.
Yeah. So, and what is appreciative about this is that Manning at least took the time to learn from his mistakes in this case.
Yep.
I don't know how much patience there is for Trevor Lawrence to make those mistakes, if that makes sense. Because
we'll see.
Yeah, I look at the situation that he's in. I don't see Trevor Lawrence having really bad interception numbers this year. I don't. I see Lawrence as more of the type of guy that is going to have a collapsing pocket way too often that he's not even going to get a chance to throw the ball. So that's kind of where I'm leaning towards with that. But I would also surmise in this one, too, that T-Law will make plays this year. I think he's way too talented to not, because this is the best quarterback prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck's rookie season, he was 11-5, and their offensive line was horrible. And we also talked about how terrible Ryan Grigson was as a general manager, which I will go to my grave saying. But I look at it from the perspective that I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be as bad as Peyton Manning was his rookie year, but I would also bring up the fact too that I don't think Peyton Manning has as bad of an offensive line as Trevor Lawrence had. So Lawrence is going to get beat up really good this year, I bet.
Yeah. I think there's no way it's going to turn out good. They might squeak out a win or two, but I don't know, man. It's so disheartening.
I don't think they even squeak out a win this year.
Really?
What's scary about this team, their defense is where I would look at. Their three best players on their defense right now are probably Josh Allen, Miles Jack, and C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson's already on the block for being a trade candidate, and he's only in his second year. That speaks volumes to me right there, because when Jacksonville was good a few years ago, they built up a talented defense. They had a solid running game. Blake Bortles didn't have to do anything to be able to do that. All he had to do was just be a game manager. So we're looking at this from the perspective that they sold off all of these guys, thinking they would just recoup all that and be able to build up a young core to be able to work with. But yet we're already talking about not keeping some of these guys. Like Miles Jack is a very good linebacker that gets no credit whatsoever. He's an athletic freak, but he's probably going to be gone at some point as well, I'm willing to bet. So it just strikes me as there's no thought process into actually building a core in Jacksonville. And I feel like, and we always talk about rebuilding with regards to that too, but in the NFL, it's one of those cases that it's so annoying to be able to rebuild every 3 years because you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't. You should be able to develop and get really good talent as it goes. So it's just kind of like, it blows my mind that there's just this constant idea that there's always going to be some sort of rebuilding going on in Jacksonville, even though they have the young players to make it work. I don't get it at all whatsoever. So that's what worries me.
Yeah, I also don't think that Urban Meyer is a big rah-rah guy. And take Miami a few years ago, for example. What's the coach's name down there?
Right now?
Yeah.
Manny Diaz.
No. Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins. I'm sorry. Brian Flores, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Brian
How
Flores.
about that, Josh? 2 points from the back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brian Flores, he took a team that was not supposed to do anything because he is that kind of coach, and he either A, coached them up, or B, was just like a player's coach and squeaked out way more wins than anyone would have thought that year. Meyer's just not that kind of coach, and maybe that's the plan. Maybe they are just trying to tank for a few years. I don't know. I don't buy into Urban Meyer, though, at least until I see something that proves me wrong.
Yeah. So. And is it also fair to also realize the fact that I've never watched an NFL coach and worried about their health?
Well, okay. Let's not get into. Yeah, let's not get into
that. I'm sorry.
I don't mean to. Let's just skip that topic.
All right, fair.
Let's just skip that topic
anyway.
Fair. And you can't have two Penn State guys on the show and then ask about Urban's health. It's just not something you can fucking do. You have to pass that topic.
Yeah,
unless you're looking for the response that we will give you.
Yeah, it's so fishy that both programs he was at that were about to get investigated. Oh no, my heart.
I have a contract with my family.
I love that both of you have the same opinion of this. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's absurd.
You know who's in great shape, Greg?
Who is in great shape?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh man. So
is it officially? Keep going. I'll see if it's official yet.
I think it's about to happen. So just a little behind the scenes here for people in case they were curious. It never fails, folks. It never fails. Feels like every single week we try to prepare. We try to get ahead of the game. We try to make sure we have the graphics prepared. Make sure we have a line of items to be able to get this going, so that we can provide you the great show that you deserve. We have Smalls on, we're ready to go and all that. And what happens? As per usual, 2 hours before about to go live. Breaking news. We got to change the show. Fuck the show. We got to change up the format.
Such good shit, pal.
Every damn time. Ladies and gentlemen, never ceases to amaze me. But today it was announced Cristiano Ronaldo is probably most likely
Well, they're finalizing. So
is
it'll probably be announced tomorrow.
finalizing a transfer to Manchester City. Two of the greatest soccer players of our generation have been transferred.
The two greatest.
The two greatest soccer
two
players of our
greatest.
generation have been transferred in the same window. And it's mind-blowing in this case. And here's the funny thing about it, too. Pep has essentially announced that he is only going to be at Man City for 2 more years. At 2 more years because he wants to try to get a national job, which credit to him because I think he'd be great at, for the record. I'm not going to discredit that whatsoever. Pep is Pep.
I don't think so.
You don't think he will?
No, his style of play is too fucking complicated. You can't install it quick enough.
All right. But real quick, I'm just going to circle back for this one. The idea of Ronaldo returning to the Premier League with Manchester City.
At the other Manchester club.
At the other Manchester club.
Yeah.
The story for this is just in-fucking-credible. And I'm very excited to see how this goes. Smalls, do you have any thoughts on this?
It's going to go really well for Man City.
You think?
I don't know. What else did you expect? Man City was going after either Messi or Ronaldo. Those were the reports. Now, I feel like Ronaldo kind of came out of nowhere, but they were kind of going after Messi for a little bit from what I heard. I'm not shocked by this at all because, man, I hate Man City. I always have. They're and I get it. If you're a club that can spend money, go for it. It's soccer.
Smalls, do you have an allegiance to anyone?
City now.
No, fuck City. There for a while, I was a big Everton guy.
I can understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a team, it'd probably be Everton, because it's Tim Howard and Len Donovan. But overall, I would say between Everton and Bayern Munich would be my 2 teams.
Going with the Germans.
So,
The Germans.
I have nothing wrong with that. Bayern Munich, man. They know what the fuck they're doing down there. But yeah. I'm so excited to see what happens in this case now because that was the rumor for the while that Messi was going to be going to Man City, but I thought, honestly, him going to the Premier League, which is a lot more physical league, I don't think would have worked well for his skill set. I think Ronaldo, because he has the past understanding of what it takes to succeed in that league, will be able to transition a little bit more from this case. I think it will be big for Manchester City as well. Also, the fact, too, what's interesting is that they actually had to pay a transfer fee on this one. I don't think it's not that much. I think the last thing I read was it was in the 30 million euro or
that's
something
what I just saw.
Yeah, so it's not as exuberant as Mbappe's thing. Mbappe, I heard, is supposed to be 200 million just a transfer, which is absurd. But I'm excited to see the results on this one. I think Man City is still the clear favorites to win the Premier League this year. I know your boys in Liverpool are probably hoping for something, but yeah, it's going to be tough sledding if that's the case.
The players reportedly don't even like their coach. Can't win with that environment. Is that for Juventus or Man City?
That's for the Jags.
Oh, that's for the Jags.
Yeah, that's for the Jags. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, yeah.
I mean, Urban does strike me as a Jag off in some sort of way. Yes,
right.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah. All right. So there it is.
There it is.
There's nothing much else to say there other than I can't even it would be almost like when the Buccaneers somehow magically added Rob Gronkowski to their roster at the beginning of the season, and everyone went, "Oh, that's weird." Oh, fuck. Now what?
What, you're just gonna have Pep recording a video, drinking a shell and just calling for him basically on that one.
It's
fuck Man City.
Who needs a super league when you have a super team?
You'll never walk alone, bud.
You'll never walk alone. All right. Just keep in mind, they sucked till they got all the oil money. You know
He's
who,
not wrong. He's not wrong.
You know who built a team the right way?
Who?
The Milwaukee Bucks. You know who just won a championship? The Milwaukee Bucks. Do you know whose players love their coach? Probably not the Milwaukee Bucks. Coach Bud gets a 4-year extension, was it? Three. Thank God it was only 3.
Here's the question I was gonna ask about this. So during like the series against the Nets,
Yes.
there were a lot of people that were calling for Budenholzer's head, including you.
Against the Nets, against the Hawks, in the finals, against the Suns, every series except for when they swept the Heat. Somebody, probably me, was like, he's gonna ruin this for them. They need to get rid of him.
Smalls, this is gonna be the time I would probably tell you to get your second drink while Josh goes on his.
I was already about to pour it. So.
Okay,
you
good.
go, all right.
Okay, good.
Take a pee break if you need to. Yeah. Dude, he gets out coached on a nightly basis. He has favorites that he refuses to play. Famously, Bobby Portis literally forced his hand to play him in the finals, right? He sat Bobby Portis against the Nets. As we were having problems with our fucking big man getting shut down by the other team's defense, wouldn't it have been nice to add another fucking almost 7-footer who has range and speed and handles? Wouldn't that have been awesome? Oh, yeah, no, we left him on the fucking bench. He leaves his star defender who's shutting down Kevin Durant in the game to get in foul trouble in the first half, fouls out before the end of the third quarter, and then all of a sudden Drew Holiday's in foul trouble, and they're like, wait, what happened to P.J. Tucker? He's a terrible game manager.
Mm-hmm.
He has not done anything to develop the talent underneath.
Nope.
So why? He got a 3-year extension because Giannis somehow freakishly healed his knee and refused to fucking lose the finals.
Basically, yeah.
That's literally what happened. Oh, and Chris Middleton woke up. Sleepy Chris Middleton was like, "Oh, hey, we could win the whole thing, huh? All right, I'll play basketball for the next 2 months."
You know what's a great comparison to this? And
What?
Smalls, you'll get this reference too. It's like when Gus Malzahn got his extension after Auburn won a natty.
Oh, that's an incredible reference.
And then basically realized, yeah, it was all Cam Newton.
Yeah.
It was all Cam Newton.
Yeah, it turns out it was just one real good player.
It was just one excellent player. If that's the case. So I'm glad to know that you're on the opposite end of the spectrum about how some
I don't
people...
think there's a Bucks fan that's like, yay. I'm serious.
You don't think?
It's just, it's a, you got to pay him because he won a championship, right? And in recent memory, the last time I can think of where a team that won a championship did not bring back their coach the next year was the Washington Capitals, right? And that's because Barry Trotz wasn't going to go back.
Right.
It wasn't because he didn't, you know what I mean? Like, they offered him, he didn't want to go back. But, like, if they didn't offer him a contract extension, I think everybody in the Bucks fandom, in the Deer District, would have been like, it's fine. Like, literally, it's fine. You just need somebody to help develop the young talent that's on our bench right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Coach Bud's that. And he's certainly not a X's and O's guy, right? He didn't exactly draw up a winning play. Pretty sure that block was just a freak thing from Giannis and Drew Holiday ripping the ball out of Chris Paul's hands.
I also don't think Budenholzer helped Kevin Durant grow like an extra size on his foot either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless there was some magic juju we don't know about, for all we know.
And
Milwaukee's a weird town.
He kind of reminds me of a John Tortorella. He coaches to a level. He's never going to be the reason why you get over a hump, but he will get you to that Eastern Conference final again and again and again and again and again.
So another Auburn reference. He's Gus Malzahn then.
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect.
So I don't have much to add to this because honestly, I don't know much about Bud. I had to look up who this was because I'm just not an NBA
We're
guy.
totally cool with it. We're totally cool with that.
That's good.
I'm just not deep in the NBA world, but why does it look like this? If you put a visor on this guy would be the most insufferable softball dad of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Or
He just looks like he's perpetually crying at all times.
or one of the, only because I've been watching this lately, one of the managers in the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just also like like when COVID happened, he was like, "Oh, I don't have to wear a suit anymore. I can wear my sweats," and then never put the suit back on. Like burned all of the suits and now just wears sweats on the sidelines. And Coach Bud does not have a body that looks good in sweats.
Is he also wearing a polo underneath the sweatsuit?
He is.
Oh yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
That's a weird move.
He's an
That's-
AAU coach.
Oh God.
He's
He
a
looks like
gym
that
coach.
creepy gym teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to basically explain that.
Now the guy who did lead to the Bucks winning a championship has decided that basketball just isn't enough.
Nope.
He needs more. Who owns the Brewers? Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Owns.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Hot seat, my Cubs fandom. You guys are in trouble. You guys suck. And Giannis just bought a team. You guys are fucked.
So
Are you really a Cubs fan though?
He
'Cause
is.
Are you're willing to go over to the Brewers?
Here's what I'll tell you.
I'm asking. Yeah. Like,
I'm in the situation right now with the Cubs that we're going to get to next after this topic that you guys are with the Pirates,
essentially,
Mhm.
yes.
where my ownership is not willing to pay to keep what is a generational type talent roster.
Mm-hmm.
They traded all of them, well, most of them away,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're not willing to pay to keep their stars. They weren't willing to pay to keep their GM who built the team. And they continued to let mediocrity manage the bench. Whether that was Joel Madden or I love you, David Ross, but you are not a fucking big league manager.
Okay.
The Cubs are as frustrating as the Pirates are at this exact moment. If it's like 20, when did the Pirates trade everybody away? 2015, right?
no, it was after.
Yeah,
it was like
2017, 2018, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's where the Cubs are now,
Yeah.
where they're just like, yeah, we had Russell Martin, who fucking cares? Yeah, we had Andrew McCutcheon, who fucking cares? Neil Walker, fuck that guy. We got better. We got Polanco. We've got El Coffee, bud.
Yeah.
Come on, pal. Don't you want to get on the coffee train?
Was.
We got this guy Starling Marte. He's huge. He's freakishly big because he sticks a needle in his ass.
He won a Gold Glove too.
On
did.
steroids.
Unreal, Dad. Before we get into that topic, I just want to point on with this one too. I love this because Giannis is essentially following the trend that we're seeing a lot now in pro sports. Like, there's a big history of guys that are kind of investing in their local community with regards to now sport franchises. Because Aaron Rodgers is a minority owner of the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald's a minority owner of the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes is a minority owner of the Kansas City Royals.
Correct.
So he was kind of like the first one to do it. Giannis is now following in suit in that way because he just got paid. So he's like, let me buy a percentage of the Brewers to add to it as well. And I think there's also some other well-known ones that
You're
people...
forgetting a huge one.
Dwayne Wade with the Utah Jazz.
No.
David Beckham with Inter Miami.
And you'll never
LeBron James. LeBron
walk
James owning the Red Sox and Liverpool.
alone.
Also, Kevin Garnett also owns a stake in them too, actually.
yeah, he does.
Yeah. So real quick, before we kind of delve into this, I personally love the concept that pro athletes who have the reach and have the funds that are able to do this are reinvesting it into clubs that, even if they're not as well known as the Red Sox or Liverpool, or it could be something like the Brewers, where it has some sort of attachment with the community they're a part of. And I hope more teams and clubs kind of do something similar to this, or more athletes do something like this, where
Yeah.
they get to that popularity. I would have loved to have seen Steph Curry own a part of the Raiders before they moved to Las Vegas, even, because I thought that would have been cool.
He probably knew, though.
It's possible.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's-
Steph's like,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
that's
here the
true.
whole
It's
time. I don't
possible.
want to be that guy.
It's possible. Smalls, any thoughts on this from your perspective?
So I wouldn't say that what I love about this is
What's
that
up, NBA rigged?
neither the Bucks nor the Brewers are what I would call a big market team.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So it's really cool to see a local athlete buy into a local franchise. And I hate the Brewers just because they're in our division.
right.
I have to. But I love Giannis. And I think this is really cool. Josh, do you know how much he bought? Like how much of the
I don't
stakes
know.
does he have?
I would assume it would have had to have been something like it had to have been a single digit percentage at that point, because like if that's something like that opens up to it, because I don't even think Patrick Mahomes owns like a substantial amount of the Royals either. Like it's probably like a small percentage in that case. But what's interesting about that too is like, weirdly enough, if you want to get a good return on your investment, sports teams are probably the best way to go to, because like their valuations just continuously go up.
If you have the
ridiculous.
money.
Yeah, if you have the money, yes, I agree. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous how some of this stuff like just fluctuates at this point, because every year somehow, some way they just go up. I would be betting you. I don't think the Brewers ownership group, and I'm not even sure. I can't remember who owns them, but I don't think they would have like given a large chunk of an ownership stake with them. I would assume it's probably similar to what Jay-Z, like when Jay-Z owned part of the Nets, it was like 1% or something like that. But even then, what's cool about this is like you have a face for the franchise.
1,000%.
Yeah, so that I think is already right there, because there's that big gap right there between ownership and the team that no one really kind of thinks about with all that, is that there's not really this identity that we can kind of associate with that, or like we see like a true fandom where we get kind of like that personal connection to it. Like weirdly enough, I'll even point this out here. Like, do you remember when Steve Cohen was on Twitter talking about how the Mets weren't doing as well?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you more fans kind of wish they had something like that to kind of gravitate to and all that. I'm not saying Giannis is going to go on Twitter and talking about how bad the Brewers have been playing lately, but I think having that emotional connection to it is going to do wonders for them, if that makes sense.
Thanks, NBA rigged. Thanks for watching the show, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Shout out.
Let us know what you think of what Coach Bud's contract extension. That was the one we just did.
Yeah. I truly hope that this continues to be a trend moving forward. I don't know any off the top of my head that would be cool if we saw more of that. I mean, it would have to be like a superstar in a small market that could eventually do it. Like if Luka bought a stake in the Texas Rangers or something like that.
Right.
Like that would be cool in my mind, or something like that.
Giannis represents Milwaukee. Very cool to see. Small market and bring it to national spotlight. Love how you guys talk about these topics in depth.
We
Thanks,
research.
man.
We research, baby.
I love. They didn't give a number on how much he owns Smalls, so it's minuscule, if anything.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think being in Pittsburgh, right, we don't really, like, we had some ownership scares with the Penguins forever ago now.
Right, but we
But-
also have that with the connection with Mario. So
Right,
there's
but
that
then
way of
Mario
thinking.
bought the team, and, the Rooneys have been around long before any of us were even a thought. Like, our parents weren't even a twinkle in our parents' eye. You know what I mean? Like,
It's funny. My dad has always told me that the Rooneys are like that. The Rooney family made their money off of like being like crooks and stuff like that. But
I don't
that's
give a shit.
I don't care either. That's like another story.
I
down
mean,
the
they're-
line.
How
They
dare
do-
he? Fuck your dad.
My dad's Republican. Like let him have his
they
thing.
take my money and my allegiance every year. I don't give a shit. Bud deserves every penny of his new contract. Just like Drew Giannis
what a
and
take.
Portis.
That's interesting.
What a
Why?
take.
Why do you think that? I disagree, because I don't think that Bud had anything to do with that team winning. I don't think he managed the games well. I don't think that he has helped any of our young players develop. I do not think highly of Bud, and I think at every turn he's gotten out-coached and just got really lucky this postseason with some incredible performances from Drew, from Middleton, from Bobby, from Giannis.
I don't have the authority to do this, but NBA rigged, come on the show because my ears perked up. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh,
Hey,
Cool.
That could be electric.
person
yeah.
we don't
Let's
know.
Go.
What's
Stir the
up?
pot.
Jump on the show. Yeah. So I think, yeah, but I love seeing it. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers owns part of the Bucks. Christian Yelich needs to do something now. Maybe the Admirals.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
He can't. I don't think he can buy part of like Wisconsin football or basketball.
He could be a big donor if he wants
Okay,
to.
well there you go. That would be cool.
Yeah, if he wants to, yeah.
I mean, he could be like everyone else and own part of the Packers.
That's
That
also
is
true. That is
very true. Actually, I might have to buy a piece of the Packers.
You might be able to.
Just to
Everyone
keep
has, yeah.
Just to keep
You
my boy
haven't
there.
yet?
Just
Come
to
on.
keep my boy there. That's all I care about. Wait till you see what I got on for next week.
Oh, God.
Wait till you see the fuck you tour coming
Yeah,
in next week.
Smalls, we had this conversation. I don't know if Josh is a Packers fan or if he's just a Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers fan. Like that, the debate has still been kind of like wishy-washy.
Tell you
on
what, I'm
that
not
one.
going to be a Jordan Love fan. That's not true. If he comes out and he's good, I'll fucking like him.
So the answer is yeah. Exactly.
We'll find out, but I'll be an Aaron fan first. All right. We're going to try something that's very hard to do in Pittsburgh. Okay? Say something nice about the Pirates. I'll start. John Nagowski is awesome.
He also got DFA'd to Indianapolis recently. Oh, sorry, bud.
And that's the life of a Pirates fan.
Oh, man. I feel bad now because Josh is so upset.
Oh man.
Smalls, you
Yeah.
want to start off on this one?
I guess, yeah. This one, I'm tired of people not think. Yeah, Pirates ownership sucks. I get it. It's terrible. What they're doing now, it has to be done. I'm tired of people giving the organization shit for tearing it all down and rebuilding, because that's how you have to do it if you have no money as a franchise. That's how you have to do it. You have to acquire talent. You have to acquire cash. And unfortunately, you have to trade players. Now, they shouldn't have done that. The trend has already been set a few years back. But now that we're here, we have to tear it down. So I'm tired of people talking shit about ownership when that has literally nothing to do with what we're doing right now. And it gets me heated. And at first, I was on the bandwagon of, fuck this franchise. Like, I'm done with it. Like, I was boycotting it. And, like, I still don't watch many games because they are that bad. But my dad, who is the biggest Pirates fan I've ever met, will watch any game, no matter how bad they are, pointed out the fact that this is what happens. This is what you have to do. Unless you're the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, you have to do this.
Right.
You have to start from the ground up. And therefore, back in like 2012, 2013, the farm system was the strength of the Pirates. That is not the case anymore.
No.
You have to rebuild it. I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't get it. And if someone can explain to me why, I just don't understand.
Well, Smalls, I'm glad you came on the show because that's what I'm here for, my friend.
He's got a raging boner. He
I
just hit the bottom of the table.
I am. That is what I'm here for.
Hang on a second. Can we jump back in here?
Go ahead.
He hasn't managed the team well. He played Drew the perfect way, letting him guard and explore play. Is his strength at D? Sorry, it's like a weird. Letting Portis roam around and play loose, uncork the potential of Lopez interior presence. I'll give you that. And not have DiVincenzo be utilized, Connington to pull down all the rebounds, shooting the lights out. These are Coach Bud's contributions. Give the man some respect. I think he's got some
NBA rig.
I think he's got some fair points.
Stir the pot. Let's go. Bring him on the show. I don't know who he is, but bring him on the show.
I think he's got some fair points. I don't think he let Bobby Portis roam until Bobby Portis forced his hand to let him roam. Pat Connaughton got the time he got because everybody else was hurt. Brooks Lopez, I do believe, is a legitimate point. And Brooks Lopez is an interesting, it's weird to say that Brooks Lopez is the difference maker for the Bucks, but when Brooks Lopez is playing dominantly and he's getting fed the ball, and you can take a period of time where it's just Drew and Brooks on the floor, and there was points through the entire playoffs where that was the key, was Drew just feeding the fucking ball inside to Lopez while Giannis and Middleton sat on the bench. Especially when Giannis went through that weird thing where he was gassed early, and he would play the first minute and then sit immediately. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But and the DiVincenzo thing, losing DiVincenzo almost right as playoffs started was heartbreaking.
Right.
And I think this year when he comes back, you're going to be like, PJ Tucker who? You know what I mean? But I still question whether that's Bud or it was the players just kind of taking over games and in circumstance with Portis and Connington. But
I understand.
NBA Rigged, we do a call-in show at the top of every month, so that's coming up. So, 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
So in 2 weeks, we'll do the call-in show.
No, actually next week. Next
No.
week it'll be Thursday the 2nd.
Well, because that'll be the NFL.
Oh, that's true. That's NFL preview, yeah.
So we'll say in 2 weeks we'll do a call-in show. Love to hear from you on the call-in show, and we can have a deeper conversation, and we could talk about whether or not the Lakers are going to be any good. So
I love it.
All right, back to say something nice about the Pirates.
All right, so real quick, let me adjust myself. Oh. All right. So.
It's all the way over here.
Yeah, that's right. No. All right. Smalls, let me explain.
Dick jokes.
There is no salary cap floor or cap for that matter in baseball. So that's the one issue right there. There will never be a floor or cap in baseball because the Players Association doesn't want that. The reason the Players Association doesn't want that is because the whole logic of that is that limits the earning potential for their players. The problem with that is owners and general managers now have this credence that we can win without having to spend money on big price free agents. That's why a lot of free agents always take so long to actually sign to that point. It's never an issue anymore. So that's the one hand on that. And I agree with you that it's not just the Pirates that go through that cycle too. There's a lot of small market teams that always have to go through this endless cycle before they actually are competing. The Brewers are no different. The Brewers were bad for 4 years before they actually got good again. They built up that minor league system. They used that system to trade for Christian Yelich to get a superstar. And then Yelich helped them get to the playoffs and actually win an MVP for them. You can say what you want about him right now. He's been injured and all that stuff, but it's a true thing. The Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
The White Sox were terrible for the longest time, but they built up their minor league system, and look at them now.
Padres.
Padres are the same way. Padres were terrible for years before that. Started spending a little bit of money, and then also waited for all their guys to come up, and now they're on the cusp of competing for an NL West title.
Kansas City Royal was back in whatever year that was.
Kansas City Royals are a great example because they won a World Series. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Moustakas and Hosmer. Perez is still there. Yes, they are a great example of that. It's the economics of baseball. And the economics of baseball have been a problem for years and years on end. I am fascinated to see what happens this winter because the CBA is officially up. There's been a lot of talk lately about how they're going to try to fix baseball. That's going to be very challenging to do because both the union and the owners do not trust each other. The initial report that I saw from The Athletic this past week was there was a proposal that was sent out where they would institute a floor and kind of a cap situation right now. So right now, MLB has something called a luxury tax. So if you spend up to a certain threshold, you're taxed on that amount, and then if you continuously do it over years, you get taxed more on that. The idea that was dispersed on, there's no way this is going to happen. This is going to be something that they're going to have to discuss on. But the idea is you set a salary cap floor of $100 million per team, which would already boost the bottom third teams in MLB. Their payroll would go up dramatically in that case. So you institute that. You lower the actual luxury tax for the top tier teams, and then any amount of money that gets put over that gets dispersed back to the other teams. I don't know how they're institute that. I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing if it comes up in that case. But I'm very fascinated to see that they're at least talking about some sort of structure to be able to make baseball a more balanced subject. Because in my opinion, what makes the NFL and the NBA so good to me is that there's at least some sort of parity. At least some sort. Like, yes, you can talk about the Lakers being good every year and all that. You can talk about the Nets having a super team and all that. But this past year proved that if you have a star, which the majority of NBA teams have in some sort of case, like anything can happen. And I've touched on this with Josh before, too. The salary cap saved the NHL, in my opinion. Like, you get, I will go to my grave talking about how they haven't done anything to be able to draw revenue for that case, but you can't tell me that every year that there's at least half of the teams that are in the NHL have a shot at winning a Stanley Cup. Like, that's my point with that. So, baseball will not be able to have this situation continue unless they institute some sort of change to their economics. And that's just that's just point blank right there.
Can I make a comparison? It's kind of like European soccer.
Yes.
The only difference is there's thousands of clubs and 3 leagues in England alone. So there's more to play for than just a championship.
Right.
There's pride, there's promotion, there's demotion or relegation rather.
Yeah.
And there's to play for European spots, to play for FA Cup, Caribou Cup, all that kind of stuff. Baseball, the only thing to play for is the World Series.
Right.
And for the small market teams, you play for a World Series once in a generation.
Exactly.
If that.
Exactly. And that is the problem, Smalls. It's
baseball
economics.
Right. I mean, I agree. It's the fans that just annoy me.
100% agree.
Yes.
Like, these fucking idiots are out here saying, ownerships are trading away anyone good. Yeah, no shit. That's what you have to do. Especially when the Pirates have the TV deal that they had. Like, Root Sports fucked the Pirates for years.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that.
And that's something that no one talks about.
Don't get me started on that. Frank Coonley was an idiot, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I don't know. I love the Buccos, and I always will. They're hard to watch. I get it. But at the same time, like, come on, guys. Like, just try to at least think before you just trash on the franchise, because this is what they have to do. With the current state of baseball, this is just what they have to do. They have to tear it down, build it back up again.
And it is unfortunate that that's the case, but honestly, I'm in the same boat as you. For me, and Josh, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but for me, because of the fact that they were my first love, like, I hold the Pirates, like, in my personal, like, fandom in higher regard than any other Pittsburgh sports team.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the only one that's tattooed on you.
Right. So it's like, that's how much I care about them to that point. So I'm obviously going to have an allegiance toward them no matter what. And yes, there's going to be hard times, but I at least have a decent understanding of how the game works. And even though it's at a very big fault, I can at least respect the fact that there is something to it in that case.
Shout out Bueno.
Shout out, sell the team, yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Yep. Shout out Bueno. Like, yeah, if Pat McAfee buys into the Pirates, that'd be awesome. I don't know if he has the funds to do that, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to get this to work where I can. I'm trying to find Justy Rhodes saying hard times.
Yeah.
I'll get it ready for next time.
All right,
next time.
I also want to have Bueno on the new college football show, because I think his Ohio State fake fandom
Now,
me, I think that'd be a lot of shit talk, which I think would be electric.
We're gonna get
let's bring it on.
We'll get into some good college football talk in a bit.
He doesn't even have an alliance to a city. He says he's a Cleveland fan, but he lived in Pittsburgh. Now he lives in New York.
And then didn't he go to Akron or something?
Yeah, I went to Akron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did. That's weird.
Hey, guys, do you know what rocks?
What rocks, Josh?
Let me show you what rocks.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Listen to me, okay? Listen, the whole world wants to see you pitch Sunday. Listen to me, listen to me. You're not coming out of this game. You're going to shove it right now, okay? We got 4 outs to go, and we're in the championship game this evening. I got all confidence in the world that you're going to throw a gem on Sunday. I got all confidence in the world that the rest of this pitching staff's going to come in and do the job, okay? You be my horse right now and give me 4 more outs, and then you hit me a bunch of home runs the rest of the way out. You understand? Let's go right now. Yes, sir. Let's go.
So that officially rocked, right? That is a coach caring about his kids. That's a coach like inspiring his kids. His kids will remember that for the rest of their lives, and it's a beautiful thing. And I just thought like, wow, what a magical moment in sports. Do you know what sucks, Greg?
What sucks, Josh?
What sucks is realizing that you never had a coach care about you like that. That I never had a mound visit or a timeout called, and where the coach said, "I believe in you, Josh. You're gonna win this game for us. We're
Yeah,
gonna
not
go
even
on
my
and
own
win a
dad did that.
championship."
My dad didn't even do that.
No, my dad didn't even do that. Good boy, Smalls. See, that's what sucks, Greg. That's what sucks.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I'm so heartbroken to hear that, bud.
Thank you, Greg. What rocks?
You know what rocks?
What rocks?
Tony Hawk blood skateboards.
Woo!
Baby, listen to this. So, big shout out to Liquid Death, my dream sponsor, my favorite water on the face of the earth, by the way, just throwing that out there. They have partnered with Tony Hawk to create a brand new product, which is the Tony Hawk Blood Skateboards. That's right, Tony Hawk donated 2 pints of blood. 2 pints of blood, folks. That blood was mixed in with red paint, and that paint was painted on 100 skateboards that Liquid Death decided to sell on their website. They sold out immediately, but it's pretty badass that we have Tony Hawk skateboards with his blood on them now circulating the world right now. But you know what sucks, Josh?
I have an idea, and I'm hoping that's where you're going.
We have essentially now created a whole new marketplace for bodily fluid items.
Yeah.
And I am not looking forward to what potentially is going to come of it. If I hear anything along the line of Jordan flavored Gatorade that's imbued with his spit or
Secret stuff.
secret stuff, yes, that could be what it is. Or if I hear anything along the lines of someone's hair being included into a coat, perhaps. Or God only knows what else we get into with that
Greg,
case.
can I jump in on what sucks?
What?
You know what also sucks?
What?
Poor little Nas X was crucified for doing the same fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And his were in sneakers.
Yeah.
Which was even fucking cooler, and he gave Satan a lap dance.
Yeah.
And he got in trouble for it. But because Tony Hawk did it, and everybody loves Tony Hawk, and he's white, everybody's like, this is amazing.
Well, no, it's because Liquid Death did it, so.
All right. Well, I had to make sure that point was taken out. All right.
Shout out to Liquid Death. We love you.
There you go. Hey, Smalls.
Hey, Josh.
What rocks?
You want to know what rocks?
Yeah.
Tom Herman is no longer the head coach at the University of Texas. So, Tom Herman was a clown. He outlawed perhaps the funnest gesture in all of college football. Horns down, baby. He was just overall just kind of a narc. And he was frankly overpaid and overrated. All right, that's what rocks. Dude's
Okay.
gone. I don't even know where he is now. I don't really give a shit. Sark's in. We'll see how that plays out.
All right.
But you want to know what sucks?
Yeah, Smalls, what sucks?
Doing horns down will no longer be nearly as fun because Tom Herman is not the coach of Texas.
Oh man,
And that was my TED Talk.
Okay.
that was great.
That was really good.
That was good.
That was the best. You know what sucks? You know what rocks? Ever out of all 6 of them that have ever happened.
On 2 episodes. For the
2
record.
episodes,
For the
6
record.
of them all together. That was well done. All right. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it is college football talk. Smalls is here. We're going to do a deep dive. I have this entire piece of paper is full of college football shit I want to talk about.
Oh, we got stats.
So, no, they're not stats.
We got notes.
There we go. Notes. Okay. All right. We will be right back after these commercial break.
BRB.
Hi, I'm Josh. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie.
We've let it coagulate. Show Greg. King of coagulation there.
Coagulation is key.
Homemade Greek ranch.
Do you like watching people eat pizza? Help me, because I'm on the quest to find the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Hand-forged pizza. Bit of Vici.
That's amore.
Make sure you're sending in your recommendations for the best pizza in Pittsburgh, because I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna hold it to my standards.
It's the aftertaste is the barf. It's where the barf comes
Oh, yeah.
I agree. It's bomb pizza.
Can your favorite pizza place pass the test? Find out.
The most controversial show on the internet.
And I thought this would be great. It's going to be controversial.
Is it?
The most impersonated show.
You have to find all the best drivers and then you can beat me. Why weren't you in elf practice?
The most cantankerous.
We don't have turns. I'm winning. I'm undefeated right now. My dad could beat up your dad. Say it. Say it. Say it.
The most professional.
So, excuse me, that verb. So upset.
Okay. I found this on the web for
Okay,
a
well,
serial
I didn't
killer
ask for Siri.
personality.
The most insightful.
I think it should be Vo because I don't think he's seen anything. Dexter's sister.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
No. Dee Dee.
Oh, I hate you so much. We're moving on.
You Googled your fucking show?
No, I literally
What is
just
this
read it.
shit?
You know the characters, Vo?
Not at all. I haven't.
Well, at least it'll be entertaining. The Rank Kings Court is in session every Tuesday at 6:30 on Thoughts from the Bench.
And we're back. Gentlemen, college football week 0 starts. If you are a college football fanatic and what we're about to talk about is not enough, you can check out more college football talk on our YouTube channel, All Purpose Garbage. Did I get that right?
Yes.
That's right.
A college football show for idiots.
Yep.
Fan-fucking-tastic. That
Bingo.
is live on our YouTube channel. So let's start with here. Who will now? I think at this point it's hard to say who would win a national championship, right?
Correct.
So I want to start with a team that I think kind of took the world by storm and then immediately fell off a cliff.
All right.
LSU.
Yep.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Are they going to come back this year, Smalls? What do you think?
I don't know. It's hard. So me and Deke talked about this. It's kind of hard to say because it's hard to tell whether or not Coach O is legit.
Go Tigers.
The reason I love Coach O, I'm the biggest Coach O guy. Like, Coach O lives and breathes LSU football. He is the embodiment of LSU football. He recruits extremely well. The issue is he had perhaps what would be considered by a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people, the most talented college football team ever.
The greatest offense we might have ever seen.
And they didn't even really come close to tripping. Like, they just took it. And the problem, though, is that every other year that he's been there, they've been decent to mediocre. I can't tell. Derek Stingley, very good cornerback.
Top five prospect this year in the NFL draft.
Absolutely. I just don't know if because their quarterback situation, I don't even remember the guy's name because he was so forgettable.
I believe it's Miles Brennan.
That might be right.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yes.
He was
Miles
putrid,
Brennan.
though.
Mhm.
He was putrid. He was terrible. And
That's a name in a movie.
Miles Brennan?
Miles
are you
Brennan.
thinking Miles Teller?
No. Brennan is the last name.
I don't know.
I just remember, I believe Miles Brennan is the quarterback's name for LSU.
Yep.
Yes, I agree with you. I would say I wouldn't even, and this is a thing I want to bring up too, Smalls, is that I'm even thinking about the SEC right now. I don't even think that LSU is the team that is going to be competitive with Bama in the SEC West. I think it's Auburn.
Oh, I hard disagree on that one.
I look at
Very hard disagree.
I look at Auburn in this case. They're bringing back like the majority of a very talented roster. I would say I think what Auburn really needed, in all seriousness, was kind of like the same thing that the USC had with Clay Helton in that case, where it's like it's not a situation where we get the guy that has all flash and stuff. We could get anyone from the country we want. We're just getting a guy that knows how to build a program in Brian Harpson, and knows how to like at least be able to do that. They're and here's the thing. Bo Nix started as a freshman 2 years ago, and at least showed something. Last year, I would argue he did regress a bit.
A bit? He was awful.
He was awful. That's fair. But I would also say, too, giving a brand new coaching staff to help him, at least in some sort of way, there has to be some sort of talent at least left in this kid. There has to be.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. The problem is it is a new coaching staff. That doesn't work first year. It doesn't. Like, and the fact that Bo Nix is I don't want to say he's a head case quite yet, but he's not. If you have as bad of a year as he had, this isn't Joe Burrow being kind of good to Heisman Joe Burrow. This is really bad quarterback play with a new coaching staff. It's not going to happen right away. I hear what you're saying, but it's just that's not how college football works.
Yeah.
Like, you need time with coaches, with new position coaches, like new culture. You need time.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Really what I think is going to happen, like, the SEC is not super impressive this year outside of, I would say, Bama and Georgia, at least just in my opinion.
I was going to bring that up too. Yeah, it's really not. And here's the other thing too. I could also make a case for Ole Miss doing something.
Yeah,
in
and
a way,
Ole Miss is interesting.
They could, but here's the thing: they have no defense.
That's the thing.
They
Yeah,
have no defense. I think Matt Corral could be interesting. I'm a big Jerry and Ely guy. I like him a lot, but their defense is so putrid that like I can't even figure out what to make of them. So it's hard for me to go with that route.
I think this is hilarious. So you've talked about Auburn and Ole Miss, neither of which are in the top 25.
Well, that's why because I was focusing on the SEC West.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, you keep saying it, and I'm like looking at the 25. I'm like, I don't see either of those teams.
I was
the
focused on
team we
division.
started with, LSU, is at least right.
No. We were talking about I was talking about division. That's what
okay.
I was
All right.
But I think the reason, me personally, I think the reason that they are in the top 25 is because the SEC is not as strong as it usually is.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Smalls, I'm going to say this real quick. I look at the SEC this year. If Georgia does not win the SEC this year, they're not going to win it for
I think Kirby's
years.
done. Yep.
I look at both of these teams, this Bama team and this Georgia team. This Bama team, this is like the most standard Bama team that we've ever seen. They have a very good defense. They have a good offensive line.
Yep.
Bryce Young is
unproven.
He's unproven. He's
but-
unproven. He has talent, but he's unproven.
Mhm.
The wide receivers are interesting. They're interesting. I think the running game is going to be telling as well because I think Brian Robinson is back as well, I believe. So I don't know if he's going to be an every down guy. But if this is not the year that Georgia takes that next step to be the national title contender, Kirby's never going to get past this at this point because they are set up. They are absolutely set up to do everything they could. They have a great defense. I'm a big JT Daniels fan. They're getting George.
I'm not.
They're getting George Pickens back from ACL injury and all that.
Are they?
I believe he is. Yeah.
I don't think he's coming back. Is he?
I thought Pickens was
I
coming
thought
back.
he was done.
He's done for like college ever too.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that,
I
but I
thought
know he's out for a significant amount of time.
Well, he tore his ACL last year, so I believed he was going to be out. I thought he was out all of last year. I thought for sure he'd be back this year. So unless I was wrong on that one, but if Georgia does not take the SEC this year, then they're never gonna.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think Bama. The thing about just the top 25 in general this year, I would say it's pretty wide open. Bama is obviously the favorite because they always are because Saban does what Saban does, but it's pretty wide open. Clemson, I think, is really good. Defensive line is solid.
Yes.
Always is. I gotta see how DJ ends up doing because I don't know. Like you had Lawrence taking the helm for so long. Like I just want to see how he does. But in general, it's pretty wide open. Yeah. And so I don't want to put money on any team to win the Natty. Like even Ohio State. Like if you look at Ohio State, they don't have a returning starter. And CJ Stroud, very unproven. And I know for a fact that fan base is going to eat him alive if he struggles for 2 games. And they're going to want Quinn Ewers in immediately. And I just think it's wide open right now.
I don't
Except for Bama.
Except for Bama.
Except for
And
Bama,
Clemson.
yeah. Nope, not Clemson yet.
Did we
Not
say
yet.
Clemson? Wasn't?
Yep, I said Clemson, not yet.
Huh.
I think they'll compete. They'll probably end up in that top 4. I just don't.
Can I ask why? I'm sorry if you already said that.
Just because DJ, I think he's really good. I've seen him in 1 game.
I know,
That's the
but
thing.
look how good he looked.
I know, but they lost to a Notre Dame team that clearly was not as good as them.
Yeah.
And I get it. And he has a whole off season. I just want to see how he does. I'm not 100% sold on Clemson yet. I know it's Dabo. I get all that. The only proven thing right now I think is Bama because they're a factory. Everything else I think is pretty wide open.
Can you say DJ's last name?
Ungalele.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was a good one, Greg.
Uyangalele.
Yeah, he got it. Uangalele. See, that's funny because I have him on my giant list of notes of things to talk about as he's going, like, everyone thinks Clemson's going to die because they don't have Trevor Lawrence for the first time. I think he's going to not necessarily pick up right where T-Law left off, but I don't think it's going to be
really
that big of a gap.
He's going to be really good. I just don't know that. I think they're going to be the number 2 team. I just don't know that for a fact. I don't think anyone really does.
Who's going to give them trouble?
Florida?
UNC perhaps. No, Florida's SEC. UNC maybe.
Yeah, UNC has a very
Miami
solid roster.
perhaps
Florida
too.
State is
Florida State, yeah.
ACC. I always
Yep.
get those
It's okay.
flipped for some reason.
It's
I don't
okay.
know
It
why.
happens.
I think Miami. It really depends on how King's ACL is because if he loses a step, that's a big question mark for Miami. I don't think he will necessarily. It's a question mark, and really that offense hinges on whether or not he loses a step with that ACL.
Yeah,
So.
I agree with you. I don't think anyone in their actual division is going to give them any issues. I mean, I'm thinking about it off the top of my head. Like, Florida State is not anywhere near that. Syracuse is not anywhere near that. NC State is still working their way up to being.
Maybe up and coming. but maybe not an issue. BC, I think BC is a team that a lot of people are sleeping on.
Phil Jurkovec looks like he's
Yep.
going to be a very good quarterback. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Aside from that, though, I don't see anyone in their division giving them trouble. Obviously, it's always going to come down to the Coastal, so that's like a toss-up to try to figure out who's actually going to win in that one. But just like kind of looking at the guys that we expect to be in the top 4, I'm just going to point this out here, too. Top 5 preseason, Bama, Oklahoma, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia. I mean, are we really surprised that they're the top 5 at this point?
No.
None whatsoever.
No.
Why'd you add Georgia in there?
Because they're top 5.
Oh, top 5. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I was like looking at the logos on the screen. I'm like, Georgia's definitely not in the top 4.
It's okay. But it's weird for me. I have the most faith in Georgia.
Oh, see, I have the most faith in Texas A&M.
I
I think they're better than Oklahoma.
on paper.
Spencer Rattler last year proved people fucking wrong.
Yeah, but what has Oklahoma done the past fucking 10 years?
I get it.
They go to the playoff and they lose.
I get it.
That's what they do.
I really hope that Lincoln
I
Riley
have
has
this
at
wrong?
least I really hope that Lincoln Riley has at least kind of gotten some sort of notion that, hey, we need a defense to be able to compete in the top 4 every year
I don't
at
even
some
think-
point.
I don't think that that's the issue. I think the issue is they don't play any defenses. That's the issue because Oklahoma has had decent defenses. I think the year that Collier was there, they were decent. The defense overall wasn't bad. They just don't play any defense.
Yeah,
in the Big 12.
I mean, yeah, no, the Big 12 is all run and gun. I will absolutely give you that. That's 100% on that one.
Hey, hand up, Smalls. I was thinking of Kellen Mond in Texas A&M. For some reason, I had that backwards.
Well, here's the thing too.
He's gone.
You're not far off though with Texas A&M because Smalls.
That's who I was trying to say I believed in.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Smalls. This A&M team is very talented.
They're good. I mean, they got Haynes King, Zach Calzada. Like they got dogs over there.
They have NFL draft prospects all over the place. But here's
the problem. I think the problem with A&M is they play in the SEC.
Right.
That's the problem with A&M.
Same division as Bama too.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But we've seen though with like LSU, you can exist as a top 4 team in the SEC even with Bama, even in the same division. LSU did it.
You can, but you gotta have. LSU, in my opinion, was a freak thing.
Okay.
Just an absolute freak show. Because they had dudes on that team that were just outrageously good.
No, kind of like when Auburn had Cam Newton. It was like a once in a blue moon type of situation where you had an elite level talent that just did everything possible to guide your team to get to where it could go.
And even the Nick Marshall Auburn team was really. I think that's even weirder because they didn't have that one guy. It was the kick six that got them. That year.
And that was like a once in a lifetime type situation that we will ever see in that case. I get what you're saying on this one, but for me in particular, Bama has a lot of unproven stuff that we're not sure about just entirely yet. So it's hard for me to say that they're going to continue that stretch. I need to see Bryce Young at least a month in before I'm willing to get there.
I agree with that. I think if we're talking about teams that could potentially make a run, Iowa State. I have my eye big time.
Yeah,
Iowa State.
I'm a big Breece Hall guy.
Breece Hall, Brock Purdy, I think is at least good enough to get them there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that makes me raise my eyebrows about Iowa State, they are returning basically everyone.
Right.
And they were fucking good last year.
Yeah.
Good enough that they scared away Texas and Oklahoma.
What's also terrifying, too, is Matt Campbell decided to stay there.
Yeah.
Which says a lot that he was willing to stay there. His team's already ranked in the top 10 to start the year. So that says a lot that you have a guy that decided to not go to a bigger name school because there were some guys calling him, and he decided, I'm going to stick with my guys, and he's already got his guys ranked in the top 10 to start off the year. So that says a lot.
I wish Willie Taggart would have done that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do Big Ten?
Yep.
Let's do Big Ten.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Here's the other thing too, and Smalls. I don't know if you agree with me on this one, but this Ohio State team is just it's kind of in the same mold for me with Bama. This is not as strong of an Ohio State team as I recall seeing. I think they have two really good receivers in Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
I think Thayer Munford is going to get some buzz as like an elite offensive line prospect. Haskell Garrett, I think, is going to also get some looks as well. But like, I don't know. It's just like, I think the issue for me is that this is the first time they've ever had to have a quarterback competition.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Well, in the Ryan Day era, yes, but no.
Yeah,
recent memory.
No. T.J. Barrett and Braxton, whatever.
J.T. Barrett and Braxton Miller?
Yeah.
I guess. But
that
one of them ended up playing wide receiver.
Right,
so
but
I don't know how much of a competition that actually was.
But the other guy usurped him. And
I
then
mean,
they
if
still
one of them
had
ended
him.
up playing wide receiver, I don't know how close of a competition that was.
I promise you, in that year, it was a big fucking deal because they were flipping between them two at points in games where like one would lead one series and then the other one would come out for the other series.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. However, like I don't know, CJ Stroud, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Now, he has the best receivers probably in the nation to throw to, but it's still C.J. Stroud, and I don't know anything about it. No one knows anything about that guy.
No.
You know what? The big hole for them, which has kind of been the case for the last year or two, their secondary. That's a problem. The secondary is a fucking problem. Not their whole defense. They got a few dogs.
Their front seven is actually is okay. I would say they're very good. But but I agree. The secondary is probably the big issue. Is that there hasn't been that one elite guy that they've had recently.
I mean, dude, Sean Wade was supposed to be that guy last year, and he was
folded.
fucking horrendous.
He folded so bad. My God.
Yeah. So that's what I agree with you. It's what's also going to be interesting is so Ryan Day. I think he can definitely recruit. And the reason he's still recruiting the way he is, at least so far, is because Urban Meyer got them to the playoff enough times where they are in that vacuum of talent right now that I always talk about in the playoff. I'm interested to see how many years if it happens, because it is Ohio State and I get it. If it does happen though, and Ryan Day, his hot streak kind of gets cold with getting those guys, I'm interested to see what happens when he is no longer playing with 100% of Urban's guys. So that's one thing that gives me their secondary, and I want to know for sure if Ryan Day is the coach that everyone makes him out to be.
Sure. So let me ask you this question, Smalls. I'm going to list 3 teams, and I want you to tell me if you believe any of them have a chance to pull what Penn State did in 2016 and win the Big Ten.
Just for clarification, this isn't your Chug Zipper pass, right?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Nope.
Making sure. When
No.
you said 3, I was
no,
like, huh.
Oh, yeah. No, these are just 3 teams that legitimately have a shot at doing this, okay?
Okay.
So, first we have to start with Wisconsin because they won't play Ohio State until possibly the Big Ten championship.
Yep.
Okay. Michigan, always a wild card. You never know. And then my favorite, I got to see this guy coach up close and fucking personal.
Oh, no.
He is as good as advertised.
Oh, no.
Give me Indiana, baby. Woo!
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going to go.
I agree. I thought you were going to say Rutgers for a second.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, me
I wasn't
too.
there during the Schiano era. I never got to meet Schiano.
Oh, okay.
I was Kyle Flood the whole time.
I honestly thought you were going to say Schiano for a second. I was like, oh, God, no.
No, but also, fuck yeah, Rutgers. No, they're not. They had to. That last year was they had some older guys. Like, they had an awesome year last year. They're probably not going to be as good this year.
No.
But that was Rutgers in basketball and football last year was so much fun for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so out of those 3 teams, Tom Herman's his name, right? No.
Tom Allen.
Allen, thank you, Tom Allen.
Yep.
I had Tom Herman and Tim Allen in my head, and I was like, I know it's not Tim Allen. Okay, so out of those 3 teams, you can even throw Northwestern into the mix if you want. Do any of them have a chance of sneaking away with a Big Ten conference championship?
It's tough. So right off the bat, off the bat, Michigan, get that shit the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Absolutely fucking not.
Want
No.
me to spit on the floor?
Absolutely not. Jim Harbaugh is about as big of a fraud as Lincoln Riley, in my opinion. Actually, a bigger fraud. 100% bigger fraud. Jim Harbaugh is a joke.
Okay.
And that program has such an unearned arrogance that it irritates me.
What a tease for my Chuck Sit pass later.
Hey, listen. Okay, they did win a national title playing what was the name of the team, Smalls, that was basically just a bunch of military guys? Do you
Army
remember
or
that?
Navy?
No. I'll Google it. Keep going.
Yeah. But okay, so you mentioned Wisconsin
Yep.
and Indiana. So
Yes.
Wisconsin, I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared shitless to play them week 1.
Yeah, me too.
I hate them. I don't hate Wisconsin. I hate the idea of playing them. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on Wisconsin yet. And the only reason I'm not is because Graham Mertz only played 4 games last year, and when he came back from the whole COVID thing, in which he basically just didn't play for like a month, he wasn't that good when he came back. I don't know if I can count that against him necessarily because that was a weird year, especially with what happened to that team. But he scares me going 28 for 29 with one. It was 1 incompletion and 5 touchdowns. I know it was against Illinois, but it was so Big Ten play.
Yep.
That scares me. I'm scared, but I'm interested to see if he can still do it. I think Wisconsin's always going to be good on defense. Offensive line, they're saying that it's not as good as normal, but it's obviously still going to be the Wisconsin O-line.
Right.
So I think they have a shot, especially since they're playing in the West, and I think that Iowa is so overrated. It's not even funny.
Well, but they also have Northwestern has become a legitimate Big Ten program.
Yeah, but they lost so many guys.
Okay.
I get it, but they lost so many guys.
Okay.
Indiana,
Michael
another team
Penix Jr., baby.
that scares the living shit out of me, man.
They're they don't know they're supposed to be bad. They don't know.
No, because
It's kind of
like
like Pitt when they beat
not
Clemson.
bad. They're not bad.
Yeah.
Like Indiana is good. Like the fact that team was in the game, even in the realm of being in the game with Ohio State towards the end of that year.
They were in the game.
They were good. And Penix Jr., very good. They also have Freifogel returning at receiver. Very good. Indiana scares the shit out of me, and I think that they have a chance. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat Ohio State, but what is scary is that they've already basically come out and said that the game that Indiana is circling is Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's why
Not Penn State.
No.
Not Michigan, not Michigan State. Ohio State.
That's why I'm bringing up
That's
that
crazy.
This Ohio State team, it doesn't feel like an Ohio State team that we should be fearing. Kind of like how we talked about with Bama, how like this is a vulnerable team that we're dealing with for the first time in a while, though. So it's going to be a fascinating college football season.
So let me transition then. If the 2 top dogs, Ohio State, Alabama, we say Clemson shaky, nobody believes in Oklahoma. Is this the year we finally see a Coastal Carolina, a Cincinnati, whatever, crack the college football playoff?
So, all right. So in my opinion, first off, I believe in Oklahoma.
There it is. There it is. Hang on, let me put him on screen.
Let's go, baby.
That's
there we
beautiful.
go. There we go. Oh,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Look at
go.
that.
That's beautiful. Just arrived today too. Love it.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think this is the year.
Okay.
So, for the record, like Oklahoma will get in the playoff just because of the fact that the Big 12 is weak and because they'll put up ridiculous numbers at some point. The closest team will be Cincinnati because Desmond Ridder is the quarterback and they're bringing back a lot of offensive starters, so they could sneak in, but it would take a miracle because the committee is not going to give them a top 4 spot easily. Yeah.
Yep, and that's the thing, man. It's just it's too hard the way it's currently set up. If you think about it, if any year was going to be the year, it was last year.
It was last
that
year.
That Cincinnati team was so fucking good.
Right.
Dude, the defense was the best defense in the country,
yes,
man.
They were.
And
they
like
were beating like teams weren't even getting first downs in games.
Yep. No. Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. The fucking the AAC, in my opinion, is a much stronger conference.
American
than the Big
is
12.
fucking good this year.
They're good. They're very good. I agree.
Dude, last year they had Tulsa, Cincinnati. They had a few other teams in there too that were at was it UCF or USF?
UCF.
It was one of the two.
Yeah.
UCF.
Yeah, UCF. Yeah. The Americans fucking good.
Yeah, SMU was a 10-win team a couple years ago. So
Much better.
SMU was really good a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
For like
Much
2 or
more
3 years in a
competitive.
row too.
I think in my opinion, I think the American is a much more competitive conference than the Big 12. And that's what sucks though. It's still the Big 12, and Oklahoma's going to get the nod over Cincinnati any day. And that's what sucks.
What also is funny too is that the American will exist in 5 years while the Big 12 won't.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. Smalls, anything else you want to talk about before we transition to Chug Sip Pass?
I don't. I'm putting in a future on Malik Willis to win the Heisman.
Oh, okay.
What are the odds at that? Just out of curiosity, do you know?
Plus 4,000.
Whoo! Okay.
Yep.
I'm there for it. I'm excited.
Yep, dude. Just because there have been, I think, 2 Heisman winners in the last 10 years or something like that actually started in the preseason top 5 or 10 or there's a stat out there that it basically it's the story. Like Lamar Jackson, not even listed in the Heisman odds. There have been so many Devontae Smith, another perfect example.
Right.
It's the story. And if Liberty is relevant enough, I think that he has a chance.
He's gonna get first round buzz too coming into this year. 100%. Which is scary.
He has an arm and he can run.
Dude, I googled this. I googled this guy and it was Liberty, and I was just about like, is he seriously talking about a Liberty player right now?
Yeah,
he fucking
100%.
is. Awesome.
100%.
All right.
Hugh Freeze is the head coach there, man. Like
Liberty was really good last year.
Yeah.
Well, I knew. So you got to remember, went to Robert Morris. So about every fucking year, Robert Morris would be like #1 in the NEC, and then they'd have to play Liberty, and that would just it was a gun. Or they'd play Duquesne. Those were the two that it was always like, oh my god, I don't want to do this. Yeah.
Liberty's really good, man. Yep.
All right, Chug Sip Pass, which is all college football anyway. So, who wants to go first?
I will real quick.
Okay.
Chug Sip Pass.
Chug Sip Pass me.
These coaches for this year.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh at Michigan.
Okay.
Scott Frost at Nebraska.
Love Scott Frost.
Or Chip Kelly at UCLA.
Ooh. And is there any more parameters you're putting on that? It's just that's what it is.
Just those 3, baby.
All right, Smalls, you want to go first or second?
So what was the first one again?
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
Pass Jim Harbaugh. 100%.
Okay.
Spit on the ground.
Yep.
There's 2 minutes remaining, and Michigan still sucks.
Yep. I want to say Scott Frost, Sip, Chip Kelly, Chug.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
Yep.
I reverse Chip Kelly and Scott Frost in this case.
I love Scott Frost.
And here's
Don't
why.
Get me wrong.
Here's why. Nebraska, I think, believes they are bigger than they actually are.
Okay.
And they have to understand the notion that you're in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You're in a winnable division.
Well,
you are.
They are.
They are compared
but
to.
We just pumped Wisconsin's fucking tires.
We
for 10
did.
minutes.
We did. But I'm telling you.
Yeah, but out of the 2.
Out of the 2.
Yeah.
Out of the 2, the West is the most winnable.
Yeah.
So you have a young coach that is building a program the right way.
Uh-huh.
It's just the problem is that if the administrators get in their way, that's where the issues come in. And I trust Scott Frost because he built UCF into the monster that it was.
Yes, he did.
He has loyalty built in, too, because he coached his kids in the bowl game, too. So I have a heart for him right there. Chip Kelly, I really wanted to pass on him because I think that his era was done, and I think he was exposed for the fact that he was not able to build a winner in UCLA like he did at Oregon. But I'm also a big believer that Jim Harbaugh is going to lose by 28 against Michigan, and that should be the nail in his coffin this
Michigan
year.
State.
No.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
You said Jim Harbaugh is going to lose to Michigan. by 28.
Sorry, I meant Ohio State.
Okay, all right.
Apologies. A lot of beer's gotten to me.
If you
already.
lose by, well, what they lost by 50 last year, didn't they?
It was something like that.
It
Yeah.
was something insane.
Yeah.
All right, Smalls, you want to go next?
Sure.
Okay. Chug,
all right.
sip, pass.
Sam Howell.
Okay.
Okay, Sam Howell, Malik Willis,
Okay.
or Bryce Young.
Okay. I'm going to
I thought. And then what was the last one?
and Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
I am
at
going to
Okay.
chug Malik Willis because in terms of competition and in terms of the fact that he already has the exposure, he is going to put up really good numbers, and I think he is going to get there. I'm going to sip Sam Howell because he is a first-round lock this year. I think he doesn't have to prove anything going into this year, and I think he's going to take it easy. And I actually think he's probably going to sit out probably with 2 games left in the season to protect his arm. And I'm
even if they're competing for an ACC championship.
Well, here's the problem. The ACC Coastal is like just one of those divisions that we don't know what the fuck's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So I could easily see them being 5-5 going into the last week or something like that. And I'm going to pass on Bryce Young just because he's so unproven, and I have no idea what to expect from him.
Interesting. Okay, I don't hate it.
All right. I'm chugging Sam Howell. We've been blowing this guy for what is now his 3rd year.
Yes.
Freshman year, 30 TDs. Last year, 38 TDs.
Right.
Now, is he the next Mitch Trubisky? You decide.
He is not, because here's the thing. Mitch Trubisky had to wait until his junior year
to play, right?
To play,
yeah,
right.
Okay.
So at least Hal started right away.
Right,
so there's a big difference there.
I'm going to sip Bryce Young, largely because I didn't know the 3rd guy even existed, Malik Willis. But I was watching, oh shit, who was it? It was something on ESPN, and they were talking about the top 4. It was something on the Get Up, and they were talking about how they think Bryce Young is the next great Alabama quarterback. And I don't necessarily believe that the last 3 Alabama quarterbacks are necessarily were amazing.
Well,
Maybe
here's
Kyler.
the
but
thing.
then Kyler went to Oklahoma. So
Well, here's the
you
thing.
know.
In terms of
You're
Bama,
thinking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jalen.
Well, here's the
Hurts.
thing. Like, let's be real here. In terms of Alabama quarterbacks, A.J. McCarron is like the elite of the elite because he had like Miss Alabama as his wife. So let's be real about that. Yeah.
But then it was like
Okay,
Tua,
Brent Musburger.
which was
Thank you, Brent Musburger.
and then Hurts, which was and then Mac Jones, who is Tom Brady incarnate, but still had like one of the most incredible fucking teams to play with. So,
Smalls, what you got?
So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I think I'm gonna go with chug Malik Willis.
Okay.
Sip Bryce Young. Pass Sam Howell. It's tough because I really like Sam Howell, but Bryce Young, I know he's unproven, but he's at Bama.
Right.
So
right.
That's the thing.
He's playing with a pro offensive line in front of him.
Josh, what do you got?
All right. Gentlemen, there are a lot of college mascot names to get repeated.
Okay.
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 Chug, sip, pass, and these are the top 3 most repeated college football mascot names. Eagles, Tigers, and Bulldogs.
Smalls, I'll let you go first.
Eagles, Tigers, Bulldogs. I'm going to chug Tigers.
Absolutely.
No
Go
question
Tigers.
about it. Between LSU and Auburn, I mean,
right.
It's pretty tough competition right there.
Pretty good.
Also, Missouri too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mizzou.
All right. And then what were the other 2? Eagles and
Bulldogs.
Definitely sip Bulldogs. I'm a big UGA guy through and through.
Okay.
And then pass Eagles.
Yeah. Greg.
I chug Bulldog
Wow.
because I'm a dog guy.
Okay.
And also because
Fair.
Georgia has consistently had a spree of Bulldogs waiting for them as their mascot, and which I love, for the record.
Yeah, and then that one time the Texas Longhorn went after the dog, and the dog saw it coming before the people did.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Exactly.
10 points to the dog.
Exactly.
Dude, Bevo just wanted that. He wanted that.
Yeah.
He wanted those hands, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to pass on Eagles because Eagles is so overplayed.
Oh, wow. I'm stunned.
It's so
You're
overplayed.
sipping cats.
I'm sipping cats,
You're sipping cats.
I'm sipping cats, yeah. Because Eagles is just so overplayed. It's so lame at this point. And
who are the Eagles besides like Boston College, right?
Oh man. Okay. Well, hang on.
I mean there's got to be like a ridiculous amount of them at this point. It has to be.
I'm sure, but like, are they relevant?
You know what? That's actually a fair point. I'm not sure if there's any relevant ones off the top of my head that I can think of aside from Boston College, but I would argue too that there has to be like a ridiculous number of colleges that use that.
I'm sure, but like, are you really gonna throw like Eastern Washington into the conversation there?
Hey, everybody take 1 fucking second, okay? Because recently, as of last year in March Madness, an Eagle flew into our hearts.
Oral Roberts?
Because everybody loves Oral.
That's
everybody loves Oral.
Everybody loves
Oral. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still out on Eagles.
You know what? I think that flipped me enough.
Oral flipped you?
Oral flipped me.
Okay.
Oral flips me too.
Oral flipped me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to chug Eagles because Oral rocks.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes. Oral rocks. And then I'm sipping Tigers, and I'll pass on Bulldogs.
I was going to break out into Hotel California for a sec, but I thought no one would have gotten that.
I would have gotten that.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
would have gotten that.
Thank you, Smalls. I appreciate that.
The fact that it is damn near October and I managed to work an Oral Roberts joke into a show.
Hey.
I'm so happy about it.
Hey.
I'm so happy about it.
When Oral is over, it's over.
It's over. All right, Smalls. We're kind of running a little bit late. Do you still want to do your trash ass statement?
100%.
I feel like he's got to get this out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give Small 60 seconds on the clock, and we're going to let him have his trash ass statement of the week about a very, very near and dear topic of his heart. So, Smalls, whenever you are ready, please go, good sir.
The statement that I'm going with that is absolutely trash ass is Sean Clifford is the starting quarterback for the Penn State Nittany Lions. What a fucking farce. Are you kidding me? This dude somehow got named to 3 watch lists for awards for quarterbacks this year, even though he put up, 2 or 3 interceptions against Maryland last year, had an under 50% completion rate against Maryland, who we were favored by 28 against. This guy, he just doesn't have it up here. And the fact that they still try to go with this guy, they will not let him go. And I get it, loyalty and all that other bullshit. But you know what? Taquan Robertson, I think, is actually legit. Why not give someone else a chance? This guy clearly does not have it upstairs. He is the worst college quarterback in the country, or at least was last year. Maybe he's okay this year. But oh my God, Sean Clifford should not be the starting quarterback for Penn State this year. Right on the dot.
A statement on your part.
God damn, that guy.
Do you feel better? Feel glad you got that off your chest?
No, because I know that I'm just going to cry the first 4 weeks.
All right, and to finish the show is our last segment, How Many Beers? This crossed my desk today, and I think it's absolutely electric. Some parents hired somebody to be Bigfoot at their kid's birthday party, and as Bigfoot crossed the fucking window, all fucking hell broke loose. You're gonna watch this one kid hit the fucking floor like dynamite just went off. Yeah, like this video is fucking awesome. I can't wait.
God.
Just wait till here we go. Okay, watch my man hit the deck. The kid in the yellow shirt steals the fucking show. We have kids petrified in terror. This poor girl can't even get off the stool. Dad's got to go pick her up. Look at my man just screaming. So my question is, how many beers would it take for you to have thought this was a good idea?
Oh God. Wow. To
Yeah.
think this was a good idea.
Yeah. How many beers did you throw back when you were like, I know what to do. Let's rent Bigfoot to come to my kid's birthday party.
Jesus
First
Christ.
birthday party out of quarantine. And
16,
you just fucking
16.
Yeah.
16 easily.
16 beers. 16. This video's gonna keep going too.
Oh
At
my
one point, the
God.
mom goes over and she's like, "Oh my God, it's!" And as she's trying to say Bigfoot, she just like cripples in laughter. Like, Dad's losing it. Bigfoot comes in the house, also wearing a tutu and a bow.
Oh my
It's a
God.
lady Bigfoot.
Oh, it's Ladyfoot.
It's Ladyfoot.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Littlefoot. Ladyfoot.
I did not realize.
Look at
The
the-
kid in the yellow is ridiculous.
All right, hang on. Here comes. Okay, so watch. The mom's gonna go over, right? And the mom's gonna be like, "Oh my God!" Like, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot!" And then she starts.
Holy shit. And someone goes to hug him.
Yeah.
Oh
They're like,
my
"No, look,
God.
it's Bigfoot!" And everything seemed to turn out well there at the end.
I can't.
I'm speechless right now.
Oh, it's the best. Wasn't it the best?
I
watched it like 12 times.
I can't. I don't know who in their right mind would think this was a good idea.
Yeah, this isn't Chewbacca we're talking here. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
Small
God.
said 16. I think that's a good number.
Oh God.
16 in a bottle of Mad Dog 2020.
No, you know what this is? I need a 24 rack of Coors Light if that's the case.
Well, a whole 24 pack.
I need
of
a whole
Colorado
24
Kool-Aid.
a
You know what?
whole 24
No.
rack of Coors Light.
Oh my
I'm
God.
changing my answer. Give
Yeah.
me 2 4 Locos, and I think I would
2-4
definitely
okay.
do this.
2-4 Locos.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ.
At the end of the day, the number, whatever it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. I'm curious to know what the hell was going through that dad's mind.
Well, I don't think it was the dad. From
Oh,
the
no.
article I read,
No.
it was mom.
What?
Thought, hey, what a great idea.
Oh my God.
That sounds like 24 bottles of wine if that's
Yeah,
the case.
I
Oh
know,
my
right?
God.
Hey, if you enjoyed this program, we'd love for you to check out some of our others. Tomorrow, Friday, the last episode of The Vault. What's the topic?
Literally, the name of the episode is Anything Goes.
Anything goes.
Oh,
All
man.
right, I love that.
I threw in an absolute absurd sport.
Nice. Handball.
Nope, worse than that.
Oh, boy.
Way worse than
All right,
that.
highlight.
Dodgeball?
Wife
Find out.
carrying.
You'll have to. Oh, wife carrying. I've seen this
Oh,
for real though.
God.
Yeah. So that's on Friday. That drops at noon. And then Saturday, the brewery review tour rolls on. Where were we headed?
I believe last week we were in Thunder. So we are going to be in Leaning Cask, actually.
There you
Now
go.
think about it. We're going to have some Firkin beer.
Lots of dog references on the show today.
Very much true.
And then Sunday, I don't know if they're doing the By the Wayside Fantasy Show this Sunday.
I believe they are.
Oh, they are?
I believe they are, yeah.
All right.
Tune in to see.
I don't know who's producing that one, but go for it. And then Monday morning, A Great Depression drops. What's one of the most awkward things you have to do as an adult? Meet your buddy's significant other for the first time.
Ah.
And so we decided, let's fucking do it on air. So that's Monday's episode of A Great Depression. And then also Monday night is draft day. Smalls, Denny, Alex, and Deke.
Any topics that you know of that you're going to be covering, just out of curiosity.
We've done best sauces. We've done best things about football. There's literally anything.
Yeah. Probably some football-related ones coming up on Monday. Tuesday is By the Slice. I don't know. I haven't eaten it yet. So
Oh,
can't give you a prereq with that.
God help us.
And then we got
Ranking score.
Thank you. Do you know what the ranking is Tuesday?
Whatever the sick and twisted mind that Austin Moorhead decides to come up with. Although this past week, watch our replay on YouTube or Twitch,
Yes.
by the way, was fantastic. And you were very heated in the comments at some points too, which I appreciate.
But also complimentary.
You were complimentary.
Complimentary. Complimentary.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
was complimentary of the manatees.
Yes, something like that.
And then you'll be right back here on Thursday at 7 p.m. Deke will rejoin us, and the Rank King will be back, and we are talking all things NFL football.
God help us.
2
all.
hours of no. We're gonna pick division winners. We're gonna make projections on who wins the major trophies. We're gonna make Super Bowl projections, playoff projections, everything.
And this will not come back to bite us in the ass in 5 months.
Hey, one of us had Josh Allen for fucking MVP last year and almost fucking cashed in on that, so thank you.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Other than that, make sure you just, follow along on the website, all of our social accounts. And thanks for watching Two Beers Deep.
We got some fun stuff coming out soon, and we appreciate everyone who decided to tune in and tag along with us. Smalls, thank you for joining us, too, this week. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Always a blast.
All right, we are signing off for now. See you next week, folks.